Bang. I'm RJ Yohann, your host for the session, and thank you for tuning in. That said, if you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we are doing, you can contact us at 6364 252164. Now let's jump right into it. Today's topic is preparing for the board exams, the Toppers Edition. And our guest for the show is Kyani. It's indeed a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, Kyani, would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Kyani Karun Kumar and I'm currently studying in first PUC and I scored 619 out of 625 in my board exam of 2022 and I'm very honored to be here and to share my um, share what I was doing when I was preparing in the board exams.
That's extremely good, Kyani. Coming up next, we are going to have a discussion with Kyani and find out her secret to success. You have tuned into The Reality Bang. Today's topic is preparing for the board exams, the Toppers Edition. And we have Kyani here with us. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate you on your achievement of becoming the state topper. Certainly not an easy task by any means. Now, Kyani, while you were preparing for the board exams, did you have a goal in mind to become a state topper? And also, how did you feel after you found out that you were a state topper?
Well, I certainly had in my mind to be the state topper, but while through this journey, I just kept on praying and praying, and finally, when I found out that I was a state topper, I was really happy, and I just wanted to praise God and thank God for all His merciful and blessings that were upon me, and I felt so good.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, to whom do you give credit for this great achievement that you have done right now?
Definitely, I want to give my first credit to my God because without His blessing or without Him giving wisdom to me, I don't think I would have scored this much. And secondly, I would like to give my credits to my parents and my sister because with their support itself, I have been like mentally stable through this journey, and I became the state topper.
That's extremely good. Now, each student, they have their favorite subject. Now, obviously, you will have your favorite subject. Now, what is this favorite subject of yours, and why is it your favorite subject?
Well, I felt that in the beginning when I started my school days, I wasn't like attached to much of the studies things or anything else. But when I kept on growing and growing, and when I came to a certain age, like when I entered high school, I felt like science was very interesting, and there's a lot of things I can discover in science and like um, find out new discoveries and all the like about in biology itself, like taking medical as an example, or like all the discoveries of the instruments in physics and all the topics of atoms and other things in chemistry. So I think I started to love science and so much, and yeah, science
So,
is my favorite subject.
so what was your score in science? Like out of 100? Oh,
Yeah, well, I got 100 out of 100 in science.
okay, that's extremely good. So now, throughout your life, you have obviously looked up to someone as a role model. Now, who was this someone, and why was this someone your role model?
My role model would be my parents because whenever I look up to them, they were like always so kind, and they didn't even pressurize me about no, you should do this itself, you have to pursue this career, you have to study like this and all. No, they didn't put a pressure on me. All they used to say was, if you want to do anything, do it with dedication, and that really encouraged me and gave me strength to like study. And even when like while I was studying, my mother used to feed me, and she used to just pray for me every day. And it was really, it's really a blessing to have a parents like them. And I really look up to them as a role model because even in their like spirituality, they are doing ministry. I don't have my father, But my mother is a pastor in Badravati, and like even now teachers tell me that your parents are so great. There must be so much spiritual environment in your house, and it would be so feel like so like good. And I really feel good because my parents have taught me how to grow spiritually and even how to grow as a good human. So I guess I would pick them as my role model.
Well, your parents are definitely proud for the achievement you did achieve. Now, you spoke about your parents. Now, how did your teachers help you in preparing for the boards?
Well, teachers were also a great support, and even when I had doubts, even silly doubts, I used to go to them and ask them about my doubts, and they used to clear it. And they even used to like encourage me. They were like, "No, you can do it. You can score well. We are gonna be there to help you." So even they supported me a lot.
Okay, now, each student who is the top of his or her class, now each of them have a timetable that they follow. Now, you obviously must have stuck to a timetable. Now, how many hours did you devote to your studies, and could you also describe your timetable for us?
I used to study like 5 hours, I guess, in a day,
Okay.
and starting from the morning, I used to wake up at 4:30, and
Okay.
I used to pray. I used to read the Bible. Then I used to start studying from 5, and then after getting freshen up, obviously, and from 5 to like 7:30, I used to study, and then I had to go to school. And after coming back from school, it was almost like 5 o'clock, and after coming from school, I used to eat a little bit and then again go for the church to pray. And I'm a little bit crazy about music instruments also, and I used to spend my 2 hours or like 1 or 2 hours in playing musical instruments like guitar, keyboard, and then I would come home and start reading Bible. Well, saying about Bible, I even had a routine of making the Bible study every day, going from the start. Then after that, I used to sit to study from 8, I guess. Then
Okay.
in the middle, I used to have a little break and talk with my parents or my sister. Then again, I used to like go and sit and study up to like 11. Then I used to sleep at 11 and get up the next day, the same time, 4:30.
So, how many hours of sleep did you have totally?
Approximately, I had 6 to 7 hours because sleep is very essential and
Yeah.
it keeps us fresh. I think that so, like every student must at least sleep for 7 hours.
Yes, yes. Now, coming to the board exams as a whole, now each student will face this problem, and that is coping with stress. Now, how did you cope with stress?
Well, talking about stress, I really had a huge stress upon me. I was like, since the beginning, I was like doubting myself whether if I could do this or not, and I was really stressed about that. And after a little while, when the board exams were near, I started to procrastinate every now and then. But my mom used to like pray for me. She used to keep her hand over my head and she used to pray. And then immediately after, when she prayed, I felt something good, and all the stress like used to like vanish within a second, and I felt good. And again, I didn't give up. I believed in God. I had faith in Him. I knew that because, like in the Bible says that if we have the faith of a little mustard seed, also we mountains can move. So I had that thought in mind, and I used to take this verse in the Bible, which is James chapter 5 verse of chapter 1 verse 5. It says that if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all, and it will be given to you without he finding faults in you. And that's what I believed in. I prayed. I kept my hand over that Bible verse, and I used to pray. After praying, I felt a lot more stress free, and then I used to study. So this is how I cope up with my stress and procrastinations.
That is really good. That is extremely good. Now, coming over to your next goal, you have already accomplished the state topper position. Now, what is your next goal, and which career do you want to pursue in the upcoming future, and why do you want to pursue that particular career?
Well, for my upcoming career, I want to practice MBBS and I want to be a doctor because it's not that I want to make money or a doctor is a great position and all. I don't know, like since I was a little girl, I always like had this passion of treating people, and then there were so many. Even there was a time when we didn't have money, and when I had some fever or something, when we used to go to the hospital and all, used to face problems because we didn't have money. But thankfully God has never failed to provide us. He has provided us with a lot. And then I thought that after my father passed away, well, speaking of that, my father had cancer. So like we couldn't save him, and it's not that we didn't try. We went almost everywhere, every corner of South India to treat him, but unfortunately we couldn't save him, and he passed away in 2019. So like since then I had this goal in my mind that I have to become a doctor, because there are so many people in our country, in this world, who don't have money, but they have some little sufferings, diseases and all. I had a great passion of treating these people. So that's why I think I want to pursue MBBS and be a good doctor. Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm really sorry about your loss. And I should definitely tell you, your father will be a very proud man seeing his daughter, pursue such a career. And I really hope that you actually do accomplish this in the future.
Thank you.
Uh,
And I want I want everyone to pray for me, because I know like being in ministry, it's not an easy job. We don't have a secure job. It's like we depend on God, and God will provide us. I believe that God will provide us. I want everyone to pray for me and for my upcoming NEET exams, which I have to give in order to enter MBBS. So I want you guys to pray for me.
of course, everybody should pray for her. Like, she's a very young person and she has big aspirations, and God will definitely honor you with this, and God will definitely be with you in the near future as well. So thank you so much for your time and sharing your valuable insights into success. So that brings us to the end of today's show. Remember, we air on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. Now, that said, I would love to hear your feedbacks, ideas, and insights. If you want to get in contact with us, please reach out to 6364 252164. And a huge thank you for our listeners for tuning in into this edition of The Reality Bind, your weekly dose of youth power brought to you by FIBA Online. This is RJ Yohann. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.